Hello and welcome to Scrapping on the Fly. My name is Kristen and I'm here with Mad About Mini paper pads for March 2023, a hop started by Moira and Crystal. And I am going to use this matte pack that I have had for a long time. 2006 is what that says. And these papers are still in pretty darn pristine condition, which is impressive for me. I'm going to document this one picture of my daughter and her sister. And I'm thinking I might pull this frame in. I started just bringing a bunch of pink stuff together. But then I'm kind of going to go off just pink and just do pink and mostly pink and purple. So not for any reason in particular. That's one stack of colors that are in this paper stack that I can use. So I've got a bunch of different things from the Carpe Diem to Prima to Park Lane. So lots of stuff. So I have a 12 by 12 pink paper to start with, my multi matte pack, my embellishments, my pictures. So let's see how this goes. Okay, so I take this stack. It was 180 sheets originally. I would be willing to say there's probably still 100 sheets in here. Not anymore. I used 17 of these papers. And I will share with you something towards the end. But for now, we'll just say I used 17 sheets of paper. Phew. So what I did was I took 12 by 12... I took double-sided tape all the way around. And now I am just taking these papers and laying them in a fashion to where they are giving me this little cornered edge. I'm not worried about them being in the same place. I'm not worried about them being perfect. I want them to be within reason in the same angle. But I don't care if there's one that's 2.5 inches out or 3 inches. I don't care. One, because I kind of want the whole look of, just having that triangular effect. And I think that it turned out really cool. I like it a lot. I go back off camera with Nuvo Deluxe or some double-sided tape and tape down the little corners that are coming up on the outside and on the inside. I think it took me maybe 15 minutes, and part of that was because I was talking and fiddling, and my son was coming in and stuff. So for my mat, for my picture, I just took scraps of the scraps that were left from what I used and laid them down on top of each other to give me a long enough strip of paper and wide enough for me to mount my picture. So now I'm just going to trim off the edges so that it is more evened out. And I believe I did it to 4.5. And of course it's longer than 6 inches, but I'm going to work on that. And then I put my picture down. I did end up pulling purple papers, and originally I just had the pink and changed my mind. And I'm glad I did because it added a little bit of something extra to work with. And I kind of fiddle with this frame for just a minute and then accidentally kind of put it in this way, and it's perfect. I love it. So I just tack it together and put it down. And I'm super excited about how cute this looks with this little frame kind of cockeyed like that. So I get that down, put a little bit of Nuvo Deluxe adhesive in there so that the little flaps on the corners aren't coming up, since I literally just use some double-sided tape to keep the little strips together to make that mat in the back. So I'm going to start with my Prima. I have Prima tickets, puffies, flowers, and ephemera. I got it in an embellishment set. I think all of it, and maybe it all came in my mystery embellishment kit that I got from Peacecraft Love back in maybe October. And I've used quite a bit, and actually I'm going to use the rest of my Prima flowers that I got from that box today on this layout. So, but first I'm trying to use up some of this collection. It's not my normal, like this lady that I put next to my daughter. I end up taking that off. I don't know. Maybe it's because I can't not do a little bit of like theme. I don't know. However, my niece is traveling abroad, and I've asked her to come back and bring pictures and that I would document it. And I think a lot of that stuff would be really fitting for that kind of layouts for, the experience she's having. She's doing school abroad. And I just think that that'd be perfect. So we'll see. So now I've got the puffies and I've got these floral bouquets, and there was a little, almost like a little fairy girl. And so I put her to where she is sitting on the top of the picture frame or the top of the picture mat. And then I have flowers that I've put next to both of the hearts on the left and the right. And then I have this butterfly that came from that ephemera bit, and I'm just going to fold the wings up and adhere that down so it gives it some dimension. I love to do that if it's, something I can do. It depends on the material. So I also used a puffy that looks like a postcard, and I put that underneath the butterfly. And start adding some other things left here and there. I pull out these tickets, which are Prima, and I put those down. One says hello, love. The other one has just got some numbers and stuff. It's just tickets. And then I'm going to set these Prima flowers on here. I only have a 4. And I know that the purple is not the same purple that I'm using in this collection, but I don't care. I really do like the way that this turns out. It was a lot of fun. And like I said, I used 17 sheets of that paper. So, and I know you're probably thinking, that's not all that paper. That's just like the corners. So you wasted a lot of paper, but I promise I did it. And maybe you aren't thinking that. Maybe you're like, good, she threw those scraps away. I'm sorry, but y'all know that's not my style. Anyway, so originally I was going to put the Prima flowers kind of closer into the picture frame, but I really liked them giving this diagonal look. Instead of overcrowding that really cute way the frame is, I move over. Now, I'm a little sad that this word family did not go down a little bit more even, but I was trying to lift up the flower and lay it down at the same time. So it's a little crooked, not like so in your face obvious, but it's crooked, and I am fine with that. I don't bring a ton of attention to it by adding a whole lot more stuff down there, but I am going to get into this Park Lane. Has a bunch of little just itty bitty word phrase. Mostly it's like thank you or love you, smile, stuff like that. Anything positive that was appropriate. One said something like get well soon or something. Well, that doesn't fit. So, but anything that worked that was in the pinks or purples or white, I pulled off, and I just find little places around the layout to tuck them in. And then I'm going to open this Carpe Diem and start pulling stuff out of here. And I actually found a lot more out of here than I anticipated. I always forget I have these. I've got a bunch of like journaling or agenda sticker books. And that stuff can go on these layouts so well. So that little circle I just tucked up there says stay curious. And I felt like that was really appropriate. This is the first time she was meeting her sister. Long story short, she didn't know she had her, and when she found out, then her sister surprised her. Not me, she told me. Surprised her and came down and met her. And I just told her I had needed to meet somebody. I was selling things on Facebook at the time. I told her I needed to meet somebody to sell something. We were just going to meet at a Dairy Queen and we'd eat there while we were there or something. So we sat down and ate, and while we were sitting there, her sister walked in and she said, Mom, that kind of looks like so-and-so. And I said, what? So it was a big surprise for her. She was really excited. And so that is why I put family on there, because she is. And let's see what else. I want to make sure and bring in some of those darker colors like that black. So of course these little phrases that I'm putting on here have, are in black font. But I also brought a couple of things down, I think towards the bottom left. I can't promise anything because I can't see that part of the layout because of the recording thing. But anywho, I do add some black or darker colors. Oh, and then I bring this little space for me to put the date and the information on, and I tuck that in behind one of those Prima flowers right here. And it just says when, where, who, and how, or who, where, when, and how. Anyway, so I put the girls' names on there, and I put the place, and I put something. Oh, what? I just said first meeting or something. But I was determined to stamp with my Heidi Swap stamp. And so I just moved the Prima flower and stamp. If the October is partially off of there, I don't care. I love the way the stamp is. And because I like to stamp with distress kind of things, I will do that. And it is not a big deal if it's not perfect or it's a little wonky. If I need to fix something like you can't see the date right, or like an 8 needs to be finished or something, then I'll do that. But other than that, no big deal. So here is the close-ups. I love how this turned out. It is a lot of fun, and I got so much of that paper used up. And I pulled, when I got done, I had this pile of weird looking scrappies left over, and I cannot throw scraps away, guys. I just can't. It hurts my soul, and I know it stresses some people out to have them, but I had to find a way to keep them or do something with them. And so I created another layout and used all the scraps and just tacked them down. So there you go. So I hope you all will go and check out all the other people who are hopping along with the Mad About Mini paper pads. And I hope that you all will come back and see me again really soon. Have a great day and happy scrapping.